Hello, this is Miss Blueberry's go home video. She was super duper sweet, such a cuddler, but she is a little bit willful, so there are certain ways to handle her. This is a pretty decent recall.
Blueberry, come.
Good girl. And I try to treat her as soon as she gets to me, so she associates that recall with the treat. This is a really good recall.
Blueberry, come.
And what I'm doing is I'm pressing the stem button on a really low level on continuous, and then calling her and then releasing it as soon as she dedicates herself to coming to me. So I'm probably only on a level 8 here.
What a good girl. What a good girl. That's a good girl.
And then give her lots of treats when she gets to me. This is a time lapse of her doing a long place stay in the living room. She eventually fell asleep, which is good. Place stays are very good for helping dogs learn to relax as well. So here I asked for a verbal sit. She did not do so. She has a knack for going down instead of a sit when I ask for it. So this is how you would handle that. I use leash pressure upwards to get her and ask her into the sit. And then as soon as she's in the sit, I release the leash pressure and give her a treat. She is quite a submissive girl, so when she doesn't want to work or if she doesn't want to do obedience, she tends to default to a down because that's a submissive position, and she's basically asking, hey, can we please not do this? I'd rather not do this. But I don't train quitters, and there's work to be done. And after a few reps of the leash pressure, she's pretty good at going into the sit. That was me leashing her and waiting for her to be quiet so that we can go outside. Here we are walking towards the door. She's in a nice heel.
Sit. Good girl.
A good sit. She does break the sit.
No, sit.
So I put her back into it. And then I open the door.
Free.
And she waits until I give her her release word to go through the door. This is our last walk. It is on 2 times speed, but you can hear when I give her the heel command. You can kind of see when I give her a leash correction, which is just a really quick pop and release. I don't let her pull on the leash. She does not pull on the leash anymore with me. But when she forges too far ahead or too far behind me, I do give her a little leash pop to get her back into position. So she is on a flat collar. I tried her on a prong. It didn't really work how I wanted it to. She does a lot better just on a flat collar or a slip collar. And there you could see that I gave her her free command. So that means that she can walk around in the grass and sniff and potty and do all the dog things. And then I ask her to heel again, and she comes back into the heel. She's not the greatest at obedience outside. It does take some physical help to get her into sits and into downs, but she does do it. She just needs a little more assistance, but with time and practice, that it will be no problem. She's just a bit too distracted here. And I give her another free command once we get back to the front yard. This one, there are chickens in the neighbor's yard, but she stays in the heel very well. This is my partner walking Miss Blueberry. This is some outdoor work
Blueberry,
with her.
sit. Good girl.
It
Down.
does take a little bit of time to get her focused
Good
on you
girl,
enough to
good
do outdoor
down.
work like this. I did not use treats for this. When I do work without treats, it's kind of like a matter-of-fact sort of work. And I did
No.
have an e-collar
Down.
on her at this time, so when she did get up, I did
Good girl. Good down.
give her a low continuous stim on the e-collar. But if you were to use treats for this, I would definitely use a high-value treat like cut-up hot
Sit.
dogs or freeze-dried
Good girl.
dog
Good
treats or
job.
something like that to keep her
Down.
attention.
Good
And
down.
here we try the
Good
downstay
girl.
again, and she does better at it this time. If she were to get up, I would walk back. I would say no as soon as she got up, and then I would
Good
walk
girl.
back to her as I was using the continuous stim and help her back into the down position and release the stim as soon as she was down.
Free. Good job.
She's waiting very patiently for the door to open and for me to free her through.
Good girl.
So this is our last session of the day, and I'm trying to make it super happy and fun time. And when she does her sit, she gets rewarded for it because it was a great sit. She's offering me good compliance with these obedience commands. She's in a downstay. So my stay commands are implied. So when I say sit or down or place, it is implied that they stay there until I release them from that position. And their release word is free. So you'll notice that as I go back to her, I don't pet her. I don't really verbally praise her too much. Because that would urge her to break the downstay. I merely throw the food on the floor, say good job, and then I release her with her free word. It's important that I not tempt her to break the downstay or a place stay or a sit stay. I want her to succeed, so I'm kind of laying low and rewarding her after she's free with pets and stuff like that. This is just a place stay. She can do much longer place stays as you've seen in previous videos. A little bit of distraction work with throwing food on the ground. And this is pepperoni and cheese, so she does readily take both of these treats and work readily for them, so they are of value to her. So I'm rewarding her with the same type of treats on the bed, and I think I threw a higher value treat at her too for making a good decision. It's always good to pay your dog for the good decisions that they make and slowly fade out the treats as they progress in their obedience training. Now this is the highest value treat that I've thrown on the ground. I think it's sliced turkey lunch meat. And she was really going for that all day today. She loved that a lot. So it was very good that she made that decision to leave it on the ground when I dropped it. And then I released her and she's allowed to eat the food off of the ground. It's a verbal sit, and then she keeps trying to go into the down position. but I put her back into a sit, and she does a brief sit stay. I mentioned in Hunters that I don't do long sit stays because it's a difficult position for the dog to hold. It is a little more difficult on their core muscles, and if they don't work their core muscles regularly, it's not something that they enjoy doing, so I typically don't ask for it for too long. A downstay or a place stay is much nicer on them and much more relaxing. So I did mention in my email that she was pretty stressed yesterday and today, so I am using a high value reward, and I'm trying to keep it as positive as possible. So you see I'm not using e-collar right now, and I do let it get a little silly, just because I want her to be comfortable. I also wanted to show that I transferred her place command to a soft bed, so you can use a cot or a soft bed or whatever you'd like. I just find that the cot works really, really well because they know that they can't step off of it, whereas it's a little harder to tell when you're stepping off of a soft bed. She is a beast at play stays. She loves her play stays, and it's not a very stressful obedience task to do. So if she needs a break from training, I often put her in a play stay and reward her infrequently on the bed. Right about now in this video, I think I'm walking around the kitchen and I'm actually out of her sight. And I am getting a glass of water from the fridge. So I'm getting ice and I'm getting the water, and then I'm walking around and she can see me and then she can't see me and then she can see me. You can see it in her face when she does see me and when she doesn't. This girl loves her play stays. And these are great for so many reasons. While you're cooking in the kitchen, or when you have friends over, or when you just want to watch TV and you want your dog to stop nagging you to play, all these things and so much more. I love play stays very much. And I always reward on the bed to keep the association with the bed. Here we're practicing some door manners. It's still a little bit of a ruckus, but it's a lot better than it was the first day. She offers a sit very quickly, and then I release her through the door. I don't ask her to sit, I just wait patiently until she offers it, because she now knows that that is how she gets to go out of the door. So she did great. She was a very sweet girl, very cuddly. She loved watching movies with us at night. She's a little bit of a willful girl. She doesn't enjoy working as much as Hunter does, so she needs a little bit of a push because we don't want her to give up.
So this next set of videos is me working on her with the recall command indoors. Usually she is absolutely amazing at this. What you do is you have her on a really low level. We have her on the working level, which is the lowest level that she can feel. And I push the button on continuous stim, and then I say, "Blueberry, come." And as soon as she dedicates herself to coming towards me, I release the stim button. And then she starts to associate, oh, as I follow the command, the stim goes away. But sometimes when she's not wanting to work, or she's in a little bit of a mood, or she just wants to cuddle and she doesn't want to do anything else, she does not want to come to me. She doesn't want to sit. She'll just down as much as she can and act shy and pitiful and submissive, and it's very cute. But you can't fall for it, because when it's time to work, it's time to work. So after she finally comes to me, after stemming her for a bit and asking her repeatedly to come, I give her a tiny bit of a break. And here I'm on a level 8 in the house, and she's on the couch because we had just finished a little bit of obedience, and so she ran off to relax. But we were not done with our session yet, so I'm trying to get her back to me, and I'm very slowly raising the level on it, on the e-collar remote, because too high of a level and she gets really stressed, and then she just can't work, which is understandable when you get stressed. So I'm really slowly upping the level and seeing what level motivates her to come back to me. I'm occasionally saying no and repeating the command so that she knows what I am still asking her to do. And then as soon as she gets off the couch and she dedicates herself to coming towards me, I stop the stim and I reward her heavily with food on the ground, and I give her lots of pets and praise. So she finally decides to. She goes, oh, okay, the stim turned off when I came to her. And I think it just took a couple reps of that to get her back in the zone and understanding, you know, how to turn the e-collar stim off. Because here she does a really good recall, and this was right afterwards. And she's not super keen on taking the food out of my hand, so I give her lots of pets and praise, and I put the food on the floor so that she can still have her reward. So here she's on the couch again, and I recall her, and she comes the first time I ask, and I did not even have to stim her that time, because I was just testing to see, you know, if she would come when I asked. And later on down the line with e-collar training, which I've started dabbling in with them, is you say the command and then you stim them if they don't come. I've already done the part where I stim and then say the command and then release once they dedicate themselves to the command. However, the next step, like for you guys, will be say the command, and when they don't respond, then you put the stim level on.